Congressman, how are you doing, sir? Steve King of Iowa. Thank you very much for joining us. The thought of leaving before this is done is not just sort of an immigration bill. This has really been described by the president and by Republicans and Democrats as a humanitarian crisis. Can you in good conscience leave town without this being settled?
Well, I would say I don't think so. In fact, I don't think we'll need to. I'm optimistic that we're going to reach an agreement. I went to the border last weekend, and we went through 2 days of intensely on the ground and a night to frame it, another day to start it up again. And we've seen a lot of this. And I've looked some of these children in the eyes, and some of the mothers in the eyes, and the Border Patrol officers down there. But
have you looked your colleagues in the eyes? Have you looked the president in his eyes? Have you looked at the Democrats in the eyes? I mean, have you looked the American people in the eyes? Because we're all waiting.
I have looked more colleagues in the eye in the last day than I have in the week prior. And there have been many of those kind of discussions. So we went into conference today. Once there was a realization that votes were not there to pass the bill, then it went into the meltdown mode. And we had a family discussion. It started out with some humor, and it got intense in there. But I stepped up to the microphone and I said, here's what I'm willing to do. I'd offered an amendment last night before the Rules Committee that would have fixed this bill that needed help. It was turned down by the Rules Committee. Then, therefore, the votes there to pass the bill. And we've just come from the negotiation meeting now. I broke out of there a little early to come here, Greta. And I can say this, that we're at this stage now where I think we get an amendment to the bill that fixes the OTM language that was problematic, so that we do.
OTM meaning what?
Oh, the other than Mexican language that treats other than Mexican children the same way we treat Mexican children.
The 2008 law.
Fixing the 2008 law. I had written that fix about 5 weeks ago. I didn't introduce it because I didn't want a vehicle for the Gang of 8 in the Senate, but language very close to that is agreed to. It's called, we're going to call it the Carter-Aderholt Amendment. And then I wanted to address the asylum language. I think that's going to be too difficult to get that done. But
so you'll still, even with the asylum language, you can vote for it tomorrow?
I think if the amendments that we agreed to as I got up from the table are written and drafted in the fashion that I understand, I think I'll be able to stand up and publicly say I will support the amendments that are offered and I will support the final passage of the bill.
Okay, so you need 218 votes, at least the Republicans do, to pass this. In the event there aren't 218 votes tomorrow, will you stick around town until we finally can resolve this?
You know, I don't know if we get this thing done on the Senate side, but for me, I'll either stay here or come back, whatever it takes, if we can get something passed.
But if everybody leaves, I mean, look, you know, one of the good things, bad things, however you look at it, things, and is the deadline's the only thing they can get, oftentimes can get any sort of legislation done in this city. And you've got this one is even particularly troublesome because it's a humanitarian crisis. We hear that there's a breakdown. We hear everybody goes to the airport. Now everybody came back, but who in this right mind thought it was a good idea to go to the airport in any event, you know, with this problem lingering? I don't think the American people like that.
We didn't have to wait for very many Republicans to come back. I did see one in blue jeans in conference, but
I don't
most
mind the
of us
blue
stayed
jeans.
in
As
town.
long as you show up, I don't care how you're dressed.
You can wear jeans in here, but anyway, most Republicans stayed because we want a solution. And we went into that room and we hammered out something that got close. And as I said, I wanted to fix the OTM language, to fix the asylum language. I wanted to fix a loophole in the ban on funding that would go towards expanding DACA. And that's the most powerful message to address the DACA, because the president is waving his ink pen at America saying, I'm going to violate the Constitution and the law and legalize 5 to 6 million people probably as soon as the House or as Congress leaves town. We've got to send the message that we are not going to just simply go silent on the president's unconstitutional actions.
We've got 10 seconds left. Do you think Speaker Boehner will close up the House without a vote on this, without a passage?
I think we have a vote tomorrow morning, and I think that we're likely then to gavel out and go back for August and hope the Senate does something.
All right, we'll be watching. We'll be watching very closely. Nice to see you, sir.